Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Hot Takes, Episode 2. I am your quote-unquote host, Payne, and this is Fortnite Death Sound. With me here is, Pooter the Scooter.
Yes,
Andrew.
Fortnite Chapter 2!
Okay. We also have Andrew,
Hello.
and always busy at the moment. I'm sure he'll come back whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah, lads. Welcome to the Hot Takes episode 2. Why don't you guys introduce yourself? I already said your names, but you can still introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Always.
I like K-pop, more like K-pop.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Alrighty.
Okay.
You already introduced yourself, Mr. Fortnite Chapter 2. So let's go. Andrew, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I'm just here.
Yeah, he's just here. He does nothing important.
That's mean.
I'm mean. Get used to it.
Okay.
All right, let's go through the important Overwatch League update that has happened since our last podcast that I was rudely kicked out of because someone could not learn how to record properly.
Hey,
All right,
I know, I was also kicked out of it.
wait, you were kicked
All right.
out of it?
Yeah, I was kicked out of it.
Yeah, it was
Well-
terrible. Utterly terrible. All right, let's start out with the Houston Outlaws. So Houston has pulled a couple of good moves. They got Harsha from Titan. And after the Titans run, I would say Harsha's a pretty good coach. Wouldn't you guys agree? Yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah? Yep.
Yeah.
They dropped Arhan, which is very unfortunate, I think. Did they play him at all? No?
They
Yeah,
played
I
him,
think-
They played him
for a
6-2.
bit, but like, he wasn't that good. Their DPS was much better than him.
So they did the smart move.
He was good when they played DPS.
And to everyone's fucking surprise, well, except for those who watched Dante's stream, they acquired hydration from the gladiators. We're gonna talk about
and that just came out like this morning.
let's talk about that after we go through the rest. Someone pick up the next stuff.
Alright, so Gladiators, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, alright? They're kind of just blowing it out. They re-signed DPay as the head coach and general manager. They dropped, they didn't drop, but Reapa's LFT, Void is
Not
LFT,
officially.
Surefor's LFT. They traded Hydration, as mentioned. And then they traded Roar to Justice.
No,
I
they didn't
honestly
trade.
don't think they would
What did they
ever.
trade for though?
Money, probably.
Money.
Money or like a person that they haven't announced yet?
They have not announced anybody, so we're just gonna assume money.
Yeah, we're just gonna assume money. But that's it.
But I'm not gonna
Interesting
lie,
trade.
Gladiators roster right now is absolutely trash. Like, they.
Well, I mean,
completely
it's kinda hard to
did,
be good
and
with
I
two
don't know
players.
why.
Well,
They were good.
listen. I will tell you why their roster is trash. It's because they don't have a roster at the moment.
Ah!
Yeah, there you
Good
go.
one.
All right, next. Someone do Boston.
Alright, so Boston have basically kicked out RCK and Alimo. RCK is looking for a new team. Well, Alimo has just given up on Overwatch and says he doesn't like it anymore. Did they pick up Stella?
No, Stellar's.
They dropped
Star Wars
Stellar.
FT.
Look, okay. So they pretty much,
Again,
they pretty much game ended half their team.
this is not official. This is just this could be potentially renegotiations, and they're looking for new offers, or they have been kicked from Boston. We have not heard anything from officially yet. All right, for always you go.
Wait.
Someone do Valiant.
Okay. Valiant. Fact, Fiction, and McGravy are looking for team or LFT.
So not official, but you know they're exploring options. All right, for Paris Eternal, they dropped their coach. They dropped Coach Fefe
I think.
and
that's
Kai
right,
Kai.
Feifei.
Fife.
yeah. Wait, they dropped Kai Kai as
Feifei.
well?
Yeah.
They dropped Kai Kai as
Yeah,
well.
he
Yeah.
dropped that.
They br-
I could have sworn they also
They dropped both
dropped
the
someone
coaches.
else as well.
They did acquire 9K from Shock, which is very good. It is a Korean coach, so I'm not sure what they're gonna do with that.
Do
Maybe
you think
they're-
they're gonna add
Wait,
like a Korean to
they
their
broke-
roster?
They broke their promise,
They
didn't
might.
they? Though? In the second season, I swear they said that they were going to have like Europeans on the team.
yeah.
I think it's just a pure European roster.
Fair enough.
Guess not
Also,
coaches.
okay, I this maybe get a bit off track, but like I want to talk about Paris for a second.
Sure.
Like, what do you think is going to come with their DPS? Because we know that Soon and Shadowburn are good, and like Nico and Kanye, I think that's the other DPS. They're also pretty good, but like they haven't performed well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, not well in
So-
the goats meta, no.
Yeah. So what
They
do you
were
think
okay on
would
DPS.
come of them?
Yeah, they were okay on DPS. They did pull off some things, but not a lot. I say you keep your stars, the moneymakers, at the very least for the season. And instead of like trying to recruit new people, I'd say try to work things out. Do scrims a lot. See what works, see what doesn't. Drop the people who just don't work. And there are a lot of good EU stars out there. Jax was LFT from last week.
Wait, Shax is
Um,
LFT?
I
Oh
believe
yeah,
so.
I think I remember it.
Wait, Shax?
Yeah,
I think
Shax.
Shax.
Actually?
Yeah, it happened last week, so that's the reason it's not on there. Yes. So you could like pick up Shax, you could pick up Onigod. There's a lot of good EU players out there that you can pick up. It just right now for the Eternal, I just think they just don't have enough results yet to like have to know what their problem is.
I don't think Shax is LFT, but about Eternal, I think that their main problem is that they're trying more so to be marketable than I think to be good. Or in all EU roster, you're basically always going to be more marketable than you are successful in the league because EU as a region is really just like kind of okay. Like it does have individual talents like Naga, Shax, Fisher, Zapray, Asking, Eddington, Shao, Molfig. There are some okay to good players in there, but it's hard to say if this is like truly going to be a good roster, especially since like we don't know what they're signing.
We'll definitely have to see. All right, so Toronto Defiant, they took Fefe from Eternal. That's where Fefe went.
Quickest free agency in the West.
And they dropped Shark. That's both their main tank spawn.
They have 4 players on their roster now. They have Neko, Ivy, Logix, and Mangachu.
We'll just have to wait and see what they pick
Do you
up.
think that they're going to keep Mangachu and like I know they're going to keep Logix because Logix is Logix.
I think they're going to keep.
I think they're going to keep everyone who's currently on their roster.
Yeah,
they're at most going to trade Neko and Ivy, but I think they definitely keep their Western DPS prospect.
All right, let's move on to the Justice. We'll do the Justice.
I'll cover the last 3, I guess.
All right. Well, Justice, they re-signed Stratus and Corey, and we said this before, but Gladiators gave them Roar. So overall, some good options. Some good.
What do you guys?
They also we talked about last week that they signed John, right? John Galt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then, XL they officially dropped Meko. Flower as well, but I think that's last week. I think for XL they could probably sign Bianca. Bianca had a pretty good showing at the Gauntlet. Like he kind of just slapped around Envy like a bunch of. And he played pretty good against ATL despite, it being a 4-0. He played as good as it could have been for a 4-0. And then according to ESPN, the London Spitfire are trading Gesture and Profit to Soul Dynasty.
Let's talk about that after we get through the last one, because that one's definitely going to spark a lot of conversation.
Yeah, I think it's a good pun there because the last team, Spark. So Spark, there again isn't much news about besides that their assistant coach Supreme is LFT, and Spark are hosting Open Trial. But about the London thing, I think it definitely has potential to be good, but I just don't see how Gesture fits into the roster. Like, is Gesture on there to be marked?
Well, Chester isn't really a bad main tank. He might be a little.
Yeah, but it's just my concern is how he plays with Michelle.
Well, obviously it's not going to be Jester and Fury unless more leaks.
Unless Fury goes there too.
Again, this is not official. This is just a leak.
But it's an ESPN leak from Jacob Wolf, who is basically usually when Jacob Wolf leaks something, it's pretty confirmed.
Usually.
Usually, I don't think there has been an incident in recent memory where.
Gesture is probably a weird option. I think he's going to be benched for Marvel. So Marvel was pretty consistent. But the profit trade is the profit quote unquote trade is probably the most the wackiest trade of the week. We're having a new thing and it's called the wackiest trade of the week. This is the wackiest fucking trade I've ever seen. Profit MVP of 2018 Overwatch League
Finals.
The grand finals. Who was a crucial part in helping London tear through Gladiators, Valiant, and Fusion, is now going to be given away by London. London losing profit.
Okay.
Nutty. Absolutely fucking nutty.
Wait, is that confirmed that they're doing it?
It is a leak.
It's basically.
I would not see them. I would not see them trading him away. Profit is legitimately the best guy on London.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm not even joking about that.
I don't know. Maybe London are just cleaning house so they can sign Element Mystic.
Maybe.
That would be kind of funny.
If they're gonna have the question is, are they gonna keep Fury? Like, because since Jester's out, is Fury going to be on the team? I heard
Fury. You probably want to keep. If anything, they trade Fury to New York.
I have heard that Fury will be going to New York, and that could actually help with the Carpe. Rumors that he might be going to New York, Excel, or London. If you have Jonak and Fury on a team, and Carpe is a really good friend of them, it kind of makes sense that he might go to New York. But of course, that's unconfirmed. Potentially, that could be a nutty roster. Carpe, Fuddy, Carpe, Fury, Jay Jonak, Mano, Libero or Sabiobi, and Animo.
Right. I have a hot take. Okay.
That's nutty.
Yeah.
I have a hot take. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's called the hot takes. Go for it.
Okay. So we have to sorry. I do not think that Carpe is living up to his expectations.
That's your hot take?
Yeah. What?
I think this season's a bit misleading since
That's like cold tea.
I think
Pig, I'm sorry.
I think this season Carpe kind of gets a for not much when Fusion was like kind of poo poo for Ghost. Like they were okay.
Okay, in my opinion,
All
right, in my opinion, Boombox and Poco were the only good people on Fusion this season.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Boombox and Poco, yeah.
Honestly, I think that Fusion this season was not good. I hated. I hated watching them. Watching them was just.
It was painful, like physically painful.
It was painful.
Yes. Imagine how it was for me. My name's Payne, and I'm a Fusion.
You're a Fusion fan?
Yes.
Oh, I feel bad for you, bro.
But listen about Carpe. We're actually gonna get to this later, but he was signed to the World Cup roster, like not even benched. He's main 7, and that leaves that's a little surprising because South Korea's a juggernaut and they have so many good potential candidates, but they chose Carpe. So maybe it's not Carpe.
Maybe it was just like the meta or something. Because last season he was insane.
Yeah, it could be the meta, or it could be Fusion itself. Like maybe there's something wrong in Fusion. Like a lot of drama has been going around, and Carpe has been in it. Not a lot, but some drama in Fusion has been going down, and Carpe was in the middle. So maybe we all think Carpe's washed, but he's not actually washed. He's just tired of the team. So we'll have to see.
All right.
Let's move on.
All right. So next up is the next cup.
Whoa. Wait. Let's talk about Houston Outlaws first.
Oh yeah, That's right.
Hydration is in Outlaws, and we can make this as quick as you want. But like, I really think that's gonna turn around. Like Hydration and Dante, that's a good startup. That's a good line. Uh, you know, I just think they need someone in their off tank, and I'm not sure if they even need better supports, but who knows? What do you guys think?
All right. Also,
Uh,
Raucus got signed to the U.S. thing, so there may be something we aren't seeing in Raucus.
Yeah, but I want you guys to know. I want you guys to list 3 players who are LFT at the moment who should go on Outlaws if they're gonna stick to Western.
Arc, Sleepy.
Yeah, let's be off. The last one has to be off.
I think Elk, Sleepy.
Arc, Sleepy, and probably Elk. Yeah.
That's 3 support players.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're kind of okay. Well, I mean, actually, I'm gonna say McGravy, Sleepy, and Elk.
McGravy, Sleepy, and Elk. Yeah.
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 No, I agree. I like that.
All right. So
I was
actually,
thinking-
next
I was thinking
Actually,
maybe
next-
Devin, yeah.
is the next cup. The next cup, you know, the next cup.
Yeah. No. We
next
get it.
cup.
Get it. We get it. The next cup. We get it.
The next cup.
What about the
cup
next
is it?
cup? The next cup.
So it's the NetEase X. It's the NetEase X tournament. Is what I believe it's like actually called. It is It's the NetEase Esports X tournament. So
Okay.
I think
I didn't watch this. This was like
I partially killed my sleep schedule to watch it, but sometimes I didn't watch some of the matches. Like I skipped some of the boring ones, like the ones with Flag and Light Gaming, because I knew I was just about to watch like okay Chinese rosters just get tossed around by like pancakes. And then, so Element Mystic lost the game to CC, and if CC didn't draw on, I believe it was Paris, CC drew. But if they didn't draw, Element Mystic would have been out of the tournament. So EM got lucky, super lucky there, that they
that's crazy.
didn't draw.
That's crazy.
That they did draw. Sorry. And Runaway went 3-0 in groups after playing Billy to map 5, which was a pretty good series. And then
Would you say that Billy and like CC are like the top teams right now, except for Runaway and
in China, I'd put T1W with them. T1W is really good.
yeah.
Mija is a crackhead. He's very good at the game.
So Element Mystic lost. The winners of the gauntlet lost to a Chinese team that didn't even make gauntlet. What does that spell for the Element Mystic players who want to get into Overwatch League?
I don't think
I don't think it changes anything.
I don't think it changes too much.
They're still insanely good.
If anything, it just changes the stock for CC. But now, I think there's definite upset potential from T1W and Billy. Like both of those teams are incredibly good. Like they could probably go to most regions and win or do very well.
All right, you know the next cup better than anyone here, I think. Who are you gonna say? Who are you gonna say takes it? Who takes it all?
So the next cup, the finals start in November 7th, which I think is just after World Cup. So I don't think that there's going to be many meta changes. I think that all of the teams in top 4 could realistically win it, but I think T1W loses out to Runaway. I think that Billy Element Mystic such a hard prediction. I don't know what that match is gonna bring, because Element Mystic, you have to keep in mind, are the best team and contenders from Gauntlet, just based off of their Gauntlet results. So I think I'll just give it to Element Mystic. So I think we'll see an Element Mystic Runaway finals, in which case I think Element Mystic kind of takes that. In which case that will be the first ever game Runaway has lost in Next Cup history. Because so far, Runaway is undefeated in Next Cup. They've never won a game across summer, winter, spring, and autumn, if I'm not mistaken.
All
Definitely
right,
think
well, you heard it
decent
here,
chance.
folks. Always thinks that Element Mystic's gonna take it in a couple of tight matches.
Although I wouldn't be surprised. I think the winner of Element Mystic Billy Billy wins it. I think both Element Mystic and Billy Billy are on par with or better than Runaway.
So it all depends on Element Mystic versus Billy Billy. Can't wait
Yeah,
to find out.
although T1W is like a sleeper pick.
All
T1W
right.
is super good.
Let's
Also, talking about T1W, we have Mija, who is honestly probably one of the best players in China. His Doom is just incredible. It's like sleeve and sparkle level of good. Like his Doom is crazy. And T1W has had the same roster for like a long time. Like their current roster, the roster that they played with is Molanran, Mija, Hybe, Silver, Waya, and Illusion. And also another player that I want to talk about is Hoyo Khan. I don't know how to pronounce Chinese names at all.
Yokian? I got no idea.
Hyokin, I don't know how to say it, but he's kind of crazy. He's really, really good. Like his play so far has been incredible. And then also JWJ from CC has also been just really solid. Has just been super solid. I also think that Shy and Over from Billy Billy have played really well. And then from Runaway, I really like Hisu. Hisu's been playing really, really good. Hisu's mad. He's upset after losing in Gauntlet.
So yeah, players to look out for is Mijia, Hyokian, Shy, Over, JWJ, and Hisu.
I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, sounds pretty good. All right, let's move on to the World Cup qualifiers. And we're not going to talk about like the top, the top teams like South Korea, Resident Sleeper, USA, Resident Sleeper, France, Omega Resident Sleeper, Canada, PogChamp, and China Resident Sleeper.
Call China Resident Sleeper. It's kind of weird, bro.
Fuck them. They're boring. You know what? Let's talk about the underdogs. Let's talk about the people we don't talk about. Let's talk about Sweden.
This was supposed to be Victor's part, but Victor's gone.
So Sweden,
He's fucking dead.
You know, last year Sweden went with Reinforce. Sweden had Snillo, and you know what happened? Sweden didn't make it. They didn't make the cut. They couldn't make it to top 8, but they were close. They almost beat China once. Which is actually great because China went almost undefeated until they hit South Korea, which was like hitting a wall. But you know what? Maybe they could come back this year. You know, like their tank line is thick, and we all like thick tank lines, big booty tank lines. Yeah, we love them. DPS line looks good. The DPS line looks consistent. It looks strong. We're definitely gonna expect big things from the DPS line. Now, the main person I'm gonna talk about is Swoosh. We all remember Swoosh. Does everyone remember Swoosh?
Yeah, I'll walk out, man.
Walk out
funny,
being positive mentality. When he left Mayhem, he let the tea spill all about the head coach and stuff like that. And you know, he's actually coaching some teams. I think he coached Giganti. And Giganti has Giganti. Giganti has had good performance. He coaches a contender team that performed very well. I think it was Giganti. And honestly, like if the only person I'm gonna believe in is Swoosh because like I gotta hand it to him. He's better than I thought he would have been.
So Swoosh coached Giganti in 2018 season 3, which is when they actually won contenders.
Exactly.
And then he coached Paris Academy, Eternal Academy, which honestly wasn't that good, but I think they kind of just got, if anything, cucked by the meta. Because their roster is like pretty good, but I think that they just kind of just got like cucked by the meta, if anything.
So yeah, like I believe in swoosh, you know, and when you have a good tank line, you have good DPS line, you have veteran experience, and you have swoosh, you know, that makes like a contender for going to BlizzCon. All right, let's talk about United Kingdoms. Since we do have someone from the United Kingdom, do you want to like talk about your team since it's your team?
Yeah. Like last season. Oh, last World Cup. I think the main reason we got so far was it's just fusions. Like Christopher was good. Like no doubt about it. Christopher was good. He had lots of experience, but he was more personality than anything else. Like and he like
Fusions really took control.
Yeah, he did because he coordinated the team in the way they needed to. Because by giving them the direction they needed, because
He had that shot calling skill, and you know,
yeah.
we all know how loud Fusions can get. He can get really into the game, and he's just emotional, and you know that can really like drive a team emotionally. But I'm saying like Fusions wasn't the only one. I'm a Philly fan, so I've got to say like Boombox and Hayes they carried, but that's just me. That's just
Yeah,
I don't know what's
Boombox was really
Unbiased.
good last year.
I'm biased.
Because he's not like a star player, but he does what he needs to do. He goes under the radar, but he does everything he needs to. Like Cruz and Boombox were like an amazing duo last year because like Cruz would just peel for Boombox and they just stayed alive, and that's like one of the main reasons they did so well. Because if you keep your supports alive, then you're just set.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you know who I'm gonna interrupt you here, but I kind of want to talk about Kib. Like last year, Kib on the Roadhog.
Oh yeah, on
God.
South Korea, that was fucking sick.
My God, I saw him on Kings Road. Like he was fishing in the sky, and he was grabbing the bird down, and he was killing him. He was playing Duck Hunter. He wasn't playing Overwatch. He was playing Duck Hunter. Just stop. But that was last year. This year, what do you think's gonna happen?
Well, I think Kib's still going to be a really strong part of the team just because of his how many players he can play. Like he's just so like diverse and he can just pretty much fit any role you really throw at him. Like it doesn't matter what role or what hero it is, he'll be able to play it, and that's something you really want in, especially this meta.
Yeah, yeah. So let's move on to Ireland. Hooter, you know anything about Ireland?
All right. Okay. So their roster, I believe, to our Western audience mainly.
I can tell you their roster if you need.
No, I got it. I
You
got it. Okay.
You got it. Okay.
Give me a second. Hold up.
All right. So the roster is Skyline.
No.
All right. Well, he's gonna look up the roster and talk about. Let me tell you a little about Ireland. The thing is, you're not gonna recognize any names on Ireland because they're not even some of them aren't even a contender.
They're all I thought they were all tier 3.
I think they're tier 3, not contenders. Some of them like their main tank, their main support, and one of their DPS is on the Dublin Foxes, which is self-proclaimed Ireland's #1 Overwatch team. They might have done OD. I have no idea, but they do some European contests. So basically, we don't know any of these players at all. We don't know the coaches, but boy, do we know their Twitter. Their Twitter talks.
Oh my God, their Twitter.
Their Twitter talks so much shit. It's unbelievable.
Thing is though, is that
Honestly, Team Ireland's just hard carried by their Twitter presence.
thing is though, the fact that all the players are just like the fact that you barely know anything on them, I don't actually think is a bad thing, because for them it gives them the element of surprise, like we had in the what UK had in like against South Korea. Like South Korea are just so unexpected. Like that's probably one of the reasons we did so well against them. Like with like I think that could happen again with Ireland because if you can't research like your players like the enemy players very well and you have no idea what to expect, then you can use that as your trump card and just pull like something out your ass and they won't expect it because they don't know what type of player you are or team you are even.
That's true. That's true. Let's look at the UK roster real quick. Like, before they had their match with South Korea, we had no idea who had Fusions. I had no idea who that was. Cruz, I probably some feeder on ladder. Kib, I don't know who that was. And Boombox was the only one I know because he was on Fusion, and I'm a Fusion fan.
Yeah.
Some people don't even know who Boombox is. And now you look at it, four of these people are already on Overwatch League, and they're getting Overwatch League experience after their South Korea battle. So yeah, you are right. Team Ireland might have the upper hand as the underdogs, but they have to fight for their spot. They have to fight qualifiers. So they're definitely going to give their enemies some time to study with some of the matches if it's recorded.
Yeah.
But if they're good enough, maybe they can own up to how much they can put their money where their mouth is instead of talking. The Celtic Wolfhounds, maybe their bite is just as bad as their bark. I'm looking forward to it.
Thing is though, like for like Team Ireland, like last year for the like UK, but for them it is like a matter of like getting the island known more as like a region to get like for Overwatch players. Because like right now, like I know literally like I watch Overwatch League like very casually, and I know absolutely no one from Ireland, like none. So like
there aren't even any Irish players in the Overwatch League.
Yeah,
I
there
don't think
isn't.
like any
So
Irish born players.
getting them like if they were to be like let's just say they did the unimaginable and they beat like South Korea, then like it's like a one-way ticket to getting like players on your team to be definitely kind of like noticed by scouts at least.
If they beat South Korea, that would be the funniest shit ever.
Honestly, I would die. I would literally die of laughter. That would be the best thing ever to happen to Overwatch, ever.
Can we make that hot take? Can we say Ireland are gonna go 4-0 against South Korea? But they're not. They're gonna beat South Korea, but they're not gonna win. They're not gonna win the World Cup. That's my hot take.
Speaking of hot takes, that's our next section. We're gonna pick out a team that's not in the top 5, which is the ones I said before. And we're gonna make some hot takes. So like let's here. Always let's start with you. Not top 5. Who do you think's gonna take World Cup?
Outside of the top 5, I think the best team right now. I think it's between UK, Denmark, Iceland, and Australia. I think are the 4 best.
No, those.
I think Netherlands is also pretty good.
Didn't talk about because they're too papega to talk about. You see, so yeah, I like your choices. I'm gonna say Ireland beats everyone 4-0. They're gonna do what Shock did. They're probably gonna suffer one loss to UK or some shit, and then they're gonna 4 over everyone and cup. That's my hot take. What about you, Pooter?
All right, hold up. Give me 1 second.
All right, what about you, Andrew?
Well, I'm gonna be biased, and I'm just gonna say the UK because if we can do what we did last year, but just ever so slightly better because we lost the South Korea game on the fucking ticks of a gnat's ass. Like it was so fucking close the last map. Because like what if you rewatch like the last map, you'll notice that like and they say like the players say like in interviews and shit like they say. If they changed one little thing and just been ever so slightly more decisive, because like I believe I can't remember if it's Fusions or Crews, but one of them made a call out, and if they'd done that, it would have literally been just fucking pixels off being able to win, because like what they did was they made it to like South Korea to get into a position to just kind of get back into control, because like when they were coming, they had momentum, like and they just by being like lacking the decisive well, the decisiveness they had the entire like map beforehand, they just fucked themselves over. So if they can just be ever so slightly better, I think they could beat South Korea because they were so close last year.
Well, it's a different meta, so we have no idea if they're gonna pull out the same results. Roadhog might be played. No, wait, Sigma's in.
All right. I got mine.
Okay, Pooter.
Okay, So I would say like the teams that have a chance of getting it. Okay, I'm about to name a lot, by the way. Ireland, of course. Then
Uh,
Iceland, Denmark, Italy, Germany. Hold up. Hold up.
you just have list of all the teams.
Israel and Saudi Arabia.
Israel can't go.
Israel's gone.
Israel's gone.
What about Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia's in it, I'm pretty sure.
Saudi Arabia's in it. Good.
Saudi Arabia's in it.
Yeah, I think so.
Saudi
Right.
Arabia and Norway.
And
Okay.
Norway maybe.
So here's a space tweet. He said that New York is an absolute powerhouse season 3. What does
That's-
that? What do you think that means?
Wait, did he just? Did he just?
He tweeted that like 2 minutes ago. In reference to the ESPN article about Dynasty
He said
trading for profit and gesture.
He said New York's gonna be an absolute beast.
He said, all right, so the full tweet is based off this article. 2 potential moves I could see is Carpe going to London because he's a free agent, or London does a full rebuild plus Fury Carpe go to New York, and New York is an absolute powerhouse season.
He said that if Carpe and Fury go to New York, New York is gonna be a powerhouse. Is that correct?
No, he said, and New York is an absolute powerhouse, implying that they've like made signings that are good.
Well, I would hope so. Because honestly, New York deserves a good season. I mean, they've had good seasons, but
They've had 2 good seasons.
they need to stop choking.
Honestly, they didn't even choke this season. Like
They
in
had a good
season
season.
playoffs.
This wasn't as bad as last season. Wasn't embarrassing.
I think
They
the
had a good
only
season.
time they like arguably choked was against Dynasty.
Oh yeah, with the infamous Nene grab. Yeah. Well, honestly, if Carpe and Fury do go to New York Excel, I don't think they're gonna sub in Bianca for Fury. I think they keep Fury. And I don't know what the roster would be. They have a lot of DPS. They have Pine, Carpe, Sabio, B, Libero, and Nene. I think Nene's still on there, which is a lot of people. But I think with Carpe, they pick Libero because Libero is a good projectile and flex.
Mm-hmm.
So if the roster is Libero, Carpe, Mono, Fury, J-Jonak, and Animo, and Carpe isn't actually washed as we think he is, then yes, that's going to be the most scary roster I have ever seen in my life. Probably contending with Shock to be one of the best rosters out there. It just depends on coaching.
I think New York coaches are underrated. Like Pavane, however you say, he's kind of a freak of beast. You know, he's very steady, level-headed. Been around the block quite a few times.
What about you, Poot? What do you think?
Of what?
New York if Carpe and Fury join.
Oh, I feel like New York is going to be powerhouse, but this is about their DPS. They have Married Man, the Married Man. They have Libero, the Flex God. They have Pine, who may switch to a flex support position.
That's a rumor. That's a rumor.
That's a rumor. And then how's Carpe going to fit in? I feel like Married Man is much better than Carpe.
Well, when you have the synergy that they have, Fury, Jojonak, and Carpe like friends, I think they have a tighter bond, and that would help the team a lot.
I know, but like they've been playing together for like 3 years already.
Well,
all of them, so they have much more synergy than just queuing in comp.
It depends on the meta. I'm gonna say it depends on the meta. They have a lot of potential. But if Carpe does, if Widow comes back, then they have to put Carpe in. They can't have the big boss in destroying all the time. So yeah, they may not run Carpe right away. I think they're definitely going to be lured in by the synergy that Carpe, Fury, and J-Jonak have. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe Carpe doesn't fit in. Well,
I don't know.
any more hot takes you guys want to add before we wrap things up?
Okay, I have something to say. It's
ahead.
not regarding anything about like any of the teams that we talked about. I have
about
something about Atlanta.
Atlanta Reign.
Yes, the Atlanta Reign.
Let's
Alright.
hear what you got about the Atlanta Reign.
All right, we didn't forget about anything, but I just have a question. Daco is still in the Atlanta Reign, right?
Daco is still in the.
Yeah, he's on team option right now.
He's on team option.
he's-
Well,
he-
all of them are.
He is
I
rumored
feel like they're going to drop Daco and keep FRD.
probably because Daco had a lot of issues. With team, all the toxicity that we heard about. But I hear, this is a rumor, but that Daco is like Carpe and wants to go to a full Korean roster, just like Fissure and Carpe.
I honestly don't know where he would go because a lot of the Korean rosters already have really good flex tanks.
Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, Dragons, but apparently Dragons are like pursuing QOQ and Sia according to an Invin article.
Well, let's see how well that forms out because I'm sure a lot of people are looking for QOQ.
Yeah, Sia though is really good. Sia's pretty strong.
What about No, never mind. They have Gargoyle. I was about to say Mayhem.
Yeah, Gargoyle is kind of a freak of beast.
Yeah, I think
Actually.
Gargoyle. They might. They're definitely gonna have to do something about their support lineup and DPS. I think.
Yeah. Sorry, man.
Sorry, man.
All right.
Well.
All right, Poot. Do you want to talk about Fortnite Chapter 2?
All right. Fortnite Chapter 2. They introduced fishing. You could hide